thrilling face-offs and highlight reel goals to gritty defense and epic saves, we're covering it all. So lace your skates up, grab your favorite jersey, and get ready to dive deep into the world of hockey. This is the five-hole where every shot counts and every story is a game changer. Let's drop the puck and get started.
Good Saturday morning and welcome to the Five Hole here on Variety Sports Network. My name is Brandon. I got Aaron with me today. And we're going to talk some NHL stuff for about the next, 45 minutes or so ish, give or take.
Seems about right.
Seems about right. That's about the average part of the show. But hey, let's get right to it. Let's talk about first thing I want to bring up how Connor McDavid scored 1,000 points the other night. Right, it finally hit the 1,000 point mark. He's the youngest player, I believe, now to hit that mark. What's your thoughts on that?
Pretty much the three guys ahead of him are all in the Hall of Fame. So it's just crazy. I mean, I didn't realize that Wayne Gretzky had in 424 games played.
Yeah,
which he obviously is the leader because why not? But like I didn't realize he could have beat Mike Bossy, but he got hurt with his ankle for those few weeks. Was it a few games? I think it was like a few games.
It was like
supposed to
2
be
or 3 weeks.
Yeah, he could have beat Mike Bossy and went in the third. So the fact that happened, he's doing it in 659 games is incredible.
Yeah,
I think personally he is our version of.
He's our version of Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jaromir Jagr, but yeah, I can say Wayne Gretzky too. I think he's gonna have 2,000 points when he ends his career.
It wouldn't surprise me if
he'll never get to Wayne because Wayne's just Wayne, but I think he'll pass Jaromir, and people kind of forget that he is second all time in points. Mm-hmm. So the fact that this has happened though is just amazing. I think McDavid, if you could, it's only happened once. I think what they should do is when he stops playing the game of hockey, you should just put him right in the Hall of Fame like Wayne Gretzky did.
Oh yeah,
that's what he does, just incredible.
Yeah, there's three guys right now that just go automatically to the Hall of Fame. It's Crosby, Ovechkin, and McDavid. Like without a doubt.
I think it's just McDavid. To be
you don't
honest.
think Ovechkin gets there?
Ovechkin was just like a one-dimensional guy. He pretty much was just like score. I'm going to carry the team. He wasn't like dynamic the way Connor McDavid is. Like you didn't see Ovechkin have like a 6-assist game with like 1 or 2 goals.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair.
And Crosby. It doesn't help me because I have it on my thing that the Pens are trash. But
yeah, I don't see it necessarily like as a way of like. Oh, they put up this many points and then whatnot. It's just how they how influential they were to the game and how much they grew the game, especially coming out of the lockouts when Crosby and Ovechkin, came around. That was a big thing for the NHL to have those guys to kind of, basically carry the load of where the NHL was at the time, and to have such dynamic players. For the last 20 years, I think we have to look at that side of things too. When you're talking about Hall of Fame, and rather,
I'm not saying they're not Hall of Fame.
Yeah. No,
I just think there's only one person that can make the Gretzky rule, where they just throw them right in. But they're like when they're done and they wait the 3 years, they're automatically in. That's not a question.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think just. If you're looking at the game in general and how they helped the game grow and whatnot, and obviously McDavid's in the same thing, and you hate to say it, but the Kachucks of the era right now and Bedard and Celebrini and all them, they're going to be the next stepping stone for the NHL, to be honest.
I think Brady's Tkachuk, yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, I mean, I could see that. I could see McDavid getting right in. I still see all three of them getting in right away. I don't see. I definitely think they're all first ballot Hall of Famers without a doubt.
Absolutely. Did you? I saw this thing yesterday. So the first game that McDavid plays, obviously second line, but his line mates were Benoit Pouliot and Neil Yakupov. And then I believe the first line was Taylor Hall, the Nuge. Who was the last one?
In his first game?
Yeah, that he ever played. He was on Benoit Pouliot and Neil Yakupov's line.
Yeah. Would have been Sam Gagner?
Nah, Sam Gagner wasn't there at that time. I know I'm forgetting I think the last wing on that first line, but he wasn't on the first line because it was Taylor Hall, the Nuge, and there was someone else. Who was it? I'm trying to think.
Look it up really quick.
Who it was? I want to say Jordan Everly, but I could be wrong on that. But it was just insane that like who he had in his besides the Nuge, like everyone's gone.
Yeah,
they had 4 first-round picks, and we obviously know what happened with Neil Yakupov. He's in the KHL, but it was just funny, like that he had all these. He had these 4 first-round picks. He was on the second line when he came up. I think he was he was on the AHL for like the first month. And then he finally came up and then just took over the league.
Yeah. 15-16 is when he came into the league.
Right? Yes, I believe so.
Let's see here. See if I can find it. See if it'll pop up.
Because it was just crazy because like the people that were on there, I was like, really? Like this team? Like this is who he started with? I don't remember.
Yeah.
But
and
of course it was the only. Well, no, it was the second. He's only had 2 years where it wasn't 100 points.
Nah, they were not good.
No, they're terrible. I think Cam Talbot was their backup. They had Korpikoski was like on the third line or something like that. I was just like, sheesh. Well, I guess it does go to show though that like you could have all those first round picks. I remember like Edmonton was just grabbing like 4 out of the last 7. You could have all those first rounders, but it's not going to really make too much of an impact on your team. Because people were trying to say like, oh, the Oilers are going to get stacked up, and it just never happened.
Why can't I find it?
It's a mystery.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I don't know. I'll find it at some point and look for it because I can't find it right now.
But speaking of though, Andre Vasilevsky the other night not only took down the Winnipeg Jets, but the youngest goalie to ever get 300 wins.
Yeah,
I mean, awesome. I kept hearing this week, especially because the Jets beat the Rangers, but like Connor Hellebuck's like the best goalie in the league. I mean, this and that, and I'm like, whoa, Lee Corso, not so fast. There is a guy in Tampa.
Yeah, there's a guy in Tampa, but Connor Hellebuck's leading the league in almost everything. He is. Goals against average is 1.92. His save percentage is 9.34 or 0.934. Sorry. And he has 12 wins.
I still pick Vasilevsky right now. I don't know. I was still Vasilevsky. So anyone that watched this later, put that in the comments. Who you think is the best goalie right now? I'm not going to say Igor because that's just too biased.
Yeah,
I think
that's the case. I'm saying Jordan Bennington's best goalie.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not going to do that. But I mean, the fact that Vasilevsky did it before, like Martin Brodeur, Hank, goalies like that. It did. I think he did it in. Had it been like it's got to be like 400 games or something like that. Yeah, I could be wrong, but
either way, I mean, that's still impressive. Still get some of the scores from last night because all the attention was on Netflix and Jake Paul and Mike Tyson and that whole fun thing. The Columbus Blue Jackets defeated the Pittsburgh Penguins 6-2. 6-2 in Columbus. The Washington Capitals took down the Colorado Avalanche 5-2. There was a total of, what is this? 39 shots in that game.
Oof.
39 shots. The Flames took care of the Predators.
Does Kyle Dubas know what he's doing? Because it's just because he's trying to hold on to make sure Crosby and Malkin and Letang they're like satisfied, but it's just not working.
I think so. I think they're just kind of riding the ride now. Is that mine or? I think they're just riding the ride of the thing right now. But there's no. They want to end their careers in Pittsburgh. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that, and that's what I think is going to happen. They're not as much as the Texas is already like, oh, we're sending. I'll wait for it to catch back up. The internet's being all funky, so I don't know if you can hear me or not. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good.
Aaron?
Yep.
Okay. All right. I think some of it just has to do. I don't know how much of that spiel you heard, but I think Pittsburgh just wants to hold on to them so they can say that they're Penguins for life. You know, that they don't want to. I don't see him playing too much longer. I really don't. I don't see Malkin playing. I don't see Crosby, and I don't see Letang playing that much. I mean, this could be the last year.
Well, I had to ask that just because, like, the transactions that he's done. I mean, obviously they traded Lars Eller back to Washington. Cool, like you got some picks for it. That's fine, but it's just like you trade away one of your best young guys, Jake Getzel, for Michael Bunting, who only had one good year. I believe it was with Carolina or maybe Toronto. I think he had one good year in Toronto, but I don't know. It just feels like he doesn't know what he's doing, and people are gonna say, "Oh, what about Toronto?" But I was like, wasn't Lou Lamoriello and Brandon Shanahan really running that show for like the most part? Like, wasn't he an assistant GM at that time when they were creating what Toronto is now? So it's just like, how much of an architect was Kyle Dubas really, and how much are we giving him credit for just because he had those superstars? Well, young superstars, I guess, but I don't know. It just feels like this Pens team is just straight trash. Like Tristan Jarry, they signed him, I think, last year to that 5-year deal. Absolute cheeks. It's just not good at all. Yeah, like I don't know what's going on.
He's in the AHL still, isn't he?
Well, I think no. He actually started this game last night.
Did he?
He gave up like 5 goals. But he was in the AHL for a while. But I think that was they did a thing on that. It was like
they sent him to the AHL. They were going to waive him.
Waive him type thing.
They waived him, and then nobody picked him up, so he just went to the AHL for Pittsburgh, and they were like, "Oh, okay." Like, okay.
Yeah, they made some clause like he could still like he was contract, but
dumb. The Flames beat the Predators 2-0 last night in Calgary. Golden Knights took care of the Utah Hockey Club 4-2, and a 10-goal game between the Anaheim Ducks and the Detroit Red Wings, with a 6-4 win for the Anaheim Ducks over the Red Wings last night.
Shout out to Cutter Gauthier. Finally got his first goal of the season. If anyone doesn't know, that guy was nasty for Boston College.
Yeah,
they didn't win it. They lost to Denver, but
no, yeah. I know we wanted to. Before the show started and whatnot, we were looking at kind of some of like the injury reports and whatnot. I saw, looking at this one now, is that Austin Matthews gonna miss his 6th straight game for the Maple Leafs, which is a lot. Won't play against the Oilers tonight's game.
Oh, that's
sad. He has an upper body injury, is what they're calling it. Yeah.
Well, so I mean, they're 10-6-2, so I mean,
yeah,
not a bad team. I think they've won like 5 straight.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and here's the other thing too is like, so after they play the Oilers today, Toronto doesn't play again until Wednesday when it hosts the Golden Knights, and then there's 3 more days off after that, after the game against the Golden Knights on Wednesday, before they play the Utah Hockey Club on the 24th. So they play 3 games in a week.
Dang, yeah, I'm looking at the schedule too. That's a gauntlet. Oilers, Knights. I mean, Utah's iffy. It could be either which way. They were on a little bit of a skid until the other day. But then you got to go down to Florida and go against Panthers, Lightning. So that's a tough 5 games that you're probably gonna need Austin Matthews, because that's all he can do is score.
He has 11 points, so 5 goals, 6 assists in 13 games. But the Maple Leafs are 4-5 since he went on the or since he's been out.
Sheesh.
Some other injury news. The Carolina Hurricanes are going to be without Frederik Andersen, and gonna botch his name because
we just talked about him too.
Literally just talked about it. Kokechkov. I think that's how that sounds like. That probably sounds right. Kokechkov. Right. So they're out. Frederik Andersen has a lower body injury, and Kokechkov could possibly play Saturday, but he'll probably play today, but doubtful. So Spencer Martin, who came in against the game against Utah, where they did not look that great, by the way. Carolina did not. He will probably get the start when will likely start Saturday's play, and then he'll probably start Sunday's game against St. Louis. How big of a loss is it that they don't have these 2 guys right now? They're on a little bit of a roll.
Yeah, they were on a bender, that's for sure, and
they're also without Seth Jarvis too.
Ooh, did not know that. That kind of hurts a little bit. So, I mean, right now they're 11-4. They're 3rd in the conference. They're 8-2, obviously, because I just said they're on a bender. I think they'll be all right. I mean, I know goaltending is important, but we saw it too, even with this team. Even in the playoffs, their goaltending was a little sus, but they had the pieces to do it. So, like Jack Roslovic, sorry. I don't know what happened. I don't know if Rob Brindamore injected him with superhuman strength, but that guy's been on a freaking tear. I think he's been playing second line. I think he's playing second line minutes. I could be wrong on that, but I mean, you got Nietzsche who's still there, who's nasty. I think they're gonna score more and have the goal, whoever is there or in net, just be there. Because this is still a pretty good team, so I don't have any problems with it. I know they brought up someone else too. We talked about from Chicago, so maybe that makes an impact. But I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, Yaniv Peretz. He's a 24-year-old. He's played 1 NHL game so far in a relief appearance against the Kings on January 15th, so last year.
But yeah, they should be all right.
That's it so far. Minnesota Wild are going to be without Matt Zuccarello for a little while. It sounds like he's on the IR after taking a puck shot to the stomach in Thursday's game against the 3-0 win over the Montreal Canadiens. But you lose Matt Zuccarello. How big of a loss is that for the Wild?
I don't think it's much. I mean, Matt Zuccarello is not what he used to be. He's 37. Yeah. So I mean, I don't think it's gonna hurt him too much. I didn't think this team was gonna be where they're at, and I'm kind of considering Kirill Kaprizov as a hard candidate, hardcore. I know it's not gonna happen because it's Minnesota, and that's not what they're gonna do. But this team's just been clicking on all cylinders, and even though I know it's Marc-Andre Fleury's goodbye tour. Maybe that's why they have this surge, but this is crazy. I think they're second in the Central.
They're second in the Central. They're 11-2-3, and they host the Dallas Stars tonight, who are 10-5-0.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
If you told me that in the beginning of the season, I'm like, nah, Minnesota's gonna be bottom tier. They don't have much cap, but
that's what I said. When I went on with Jimmy and Nico a little while back, we were talking about the Central Division and just the Blues and the Avalanche and whatnot. I was like I don't see Minnesota being like I see them more of a bottom of the division team this year, not necessarily fighting for a top spot in the division. And I was wrong, but the thing is, it's always one of the teams. It's always either Minnesota. Who else am I? Who am I thinking of? Nashville or Winnipeg. Like those three teams just seem to like rotate. At least for the past couple of years, it used to be like when the Blues and Avalanche were battling out for the first 1 and 2 in the division. It was always Winnipeg, Nashville, and Minnesota who were battling out for a wild card spot. Like they would every year it would be one of them. One of them would be really bad, and then the other one would be like, holy crap! Like we probably don't want to play these guys in the playoffs right away.
Yeah.
So just there's those kind of teams because Dallas was always right there too, and whatnot. While Coach John Hayes said that Zuccarello will probably be out 3 to 4 weeks, maybe.
They should have traded him last year to the Rangers, bring him back home.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. John Hines has that team drinking the Kool-Aid, whatever he's doing. I know he's brought the Nashville to a few playoffs. I know, like I said, he brought Taylor Hall's Devils teams to the playoffs, like pretty much riding on Taylor Hall. So maybe Winnipeg just kind of is coming together. Gustafsson, the goalie. I think he's finally taking that leap.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always been like decently good, but I think now he's just solidifying himself for this team. So they've only given up 39 goals. I didn't expect that. No. I mean, their goal for 56 goals, but that's still better than Dallas. And Dallas is a wagon.
Yeah,
even though the record says it.
10-5-0. So it's interesting. Some other injury updates is that Tage Thompson and Luka Konen should be back from their lower body injuries when the Sabres visit the Kings on Wednesday. They both have practiced, both have skated over since Friday, basically. But they could be without forward Jordan Greenway against the Flyers tonight. So it'll be interesting. I hated that game the other night. So I finally got to watch the Blues play once. That one sucked.
You just happened to watch that game where it was 4-3 Buffalo.
It was awful. I don't know. It just wasn't fun. Not a fun one to watch. Not a fun one to watch.
Apparently NHL rumors. Jordan Binnington could get traded. This isn't real. I don't know how real that is. I just saw the article before he came out.
No, it's not going to happen.
He's got 2 years left and an 18-team no trade clause. All right.
Yeah. Well, it goes to like 30 or 23 teams next season. So.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah. If they're going to trade him, they trade it next year. Yeah. They'll keep him this year. There's no need to. We don't have. I mean, you have Joel Hofer, who's. Yeah.
He's all right.
Yeah. Nothing special right now, but. No. I don't know. We'll see. Robbie Fabry is going to be out for the next 6 to 8 weeks as well. After having knee surgery on Friday, he sustained a lower body injury during the third period of the 4-2 win against the Columbus Blue Jackets. So there's that as well. They're also Cam Fowler still out, and Mason McTavish is day to day. So
I figure Mason McTavish would be coming back by now.
Let's see here. Let's jump in a little bit of today's action. The Blues take on the Bruins today at noon.
I'll give them that W to St. Louis.
Yeah,
Boston has been trash.
They played them just this past week and blew a they blew a third period lead to the Bruins.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this team, and I keep seeing the Jim Montgomery thing going on, and it's not Jim Montgomery. Like they have nothing. There's no prospects in Providence. They're putting so much on Marchand, and he's had like 3, from what I heard, 3 back surgeries, or there's 3 surgeries in the offseason. Jeremy Swayman, I listen, I'm cool with it. You got paid, do whatever you do, but you're giving up like 7, at least averaging 5 to 7 goals you're giving up a game.
Yeah.
They have nothing offensively. What I see, it was like Martin Geeky or whatever is like on the first line. That's not a first line guy. That's not a first line guy. They have nothing. I don't know what's going on. I think they have a good amount of cap space next year, but they have like no prospects.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
No. And then you have the Islanders taking on the Kraken at 3:00 today.
I don't know what they're trying.
Which one?
Trying to do.
The Islanders or the Kraken?
Give me the Kraken.
Kraken. Okay. They're in Seattle.
Yeah, give me the Kraken. I like what Jessica Campbell's doing with that team, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a 3:00 puck drop as well in this one. So it'll be interesting. That should be a good game. I'll go with the Kraken. Give me the 8-8-1 Kraken to get a win here today as well. And you get 6:00. You got the Oilers and the Maple Leafs.
Give me the Oilers. I think they're gonna be riding high on that.
Yeah.
On that win over Nashville.
Yeah, I like it. Oilers as well. I'm gonna take the Columbus Blue Jackets to beat the Montreal Canadiens today.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
that. This would be a good one. Devils and Lightning.
Give me the Lightning, because the last time they played, I mean, granted it was Jake Allen, but the Lightning put like a 7-piece on them.
Yeah. Should be a good one. Ooh, Jets Panthers.
I gotta see who's in net. For the Panthers. It's gotta be Bobrovsky, right? Give me the Panthers. It's just because the Jets freaking lit up my Rangers in this second period the other night. So
yeah,
and they have to lose. It's okay to lose games. You're not gonna go 81-1 this year. So they're 15-2, still good, but Panthers more experienced team.
How about the Sabres and Flyers?
Oh God,
yeah, gross game.
Give me the Flyers.
Okay. I'm gonna go Buffalo. Buffalo's playing decent hockey right now. They're a better team than I think we think they are.
But you did say that their goalie is coming back. He was injured a little bit.
Yeah, Tate Sean. Yeah, and the goalie.
I can't say his name. It's too long.
Lou Cocoon. I don't know how to say his name either.
Exactly. I'm not trying to mess it up.
You got the 5-10-3 Sharks visiting the 6-10-3 Pittsburgh Penguins.
Give me the Sharks.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. How about the 8-7-1 Senators taking on the 11-4-0 Carolina Hurricanes?
Sheesh. I'm gonna go upset. Give me Senators.
Nice. Okay. I like it. This would be a good one. This is another good one.
Oh yeah.
As well as the 10-5-0 Dallas Stars taking on the 11-2-3 Minnesota Wild.
Give me the Stars.
Stars. Okay, you're picking a lot of road teams today. I like it.
Yeah, you gotta switch it up.
Yeah. The Detroit Red Wings continue their West Coast trip as they take on the LA Kings, who are now 9-6-3 out in the Pacific. Give me the Kings at home.
I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah, Kings at home. And then the last matchup of the day is the Chicago Blackhawks, 6-10-1 Chicago Blackhawks taking on the 8-4-3 Vancouver Canucks.
I mean, Canucks are without Brock Besser for a decent amount of time, but still give me the Canucks.
Yeah, that's fair. I like it. You get Bedard going back to Vancouver too, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, he's doing that pay to play.
Yeah.
So I guess he's for how many tickets he's going to get. So that's probably going to be a sold out crowd.
Mm-hmm. I saw some about he's basically paying to he's because he's sold so many tickets to family and friends and whatnot that he's not making anything off of this game.
No,
which is funny. And whatnot, which is that's what it is. That's what it is. Sometimes it's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. I did see over the last week, I think it was the NHL, I guess the Players Association or whatnot. They came out with, and I wish I would have saved the little article. I don't think I did, but they were talking about like changes and stuff they wanted to see to the NHL. One of them was the playoffs. would you rather the playoffs stick with what they are now, or would you rather go back to 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7?
Huh. That's difficult because I think I've seen too, like people want like a 1 to 16, like they want to do like that.
So just get rid of conferences.
Yeah, I've heard some people say that they want something like that because it would be more interesting. I
don't know if you can get rid of conferences. I think that's the whole point of like East versus like the. I mean,
exactly.
I don't know though. Same time.
I think maybe the 1 to 8, just because I feel like if you keep going with the system you have, you're going to play the same teams every year.
Yeah. Well, that's what they wanted though. They wanted that they wanted the rivalries to be
like ramped up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still the hardest playoff system in most of the sports.
Yeah.
I mean, where are you going to see where everyone's going 7-7-7-7-7?
Not very often. Maybe the NBA does that every once in a while.
Nah, they don't do
but
that.
It doesn't happen very often. Somebody's getting swept at least one time.
Exactly.
At least one time. I don't know. I don't mind the way they are right now. I don't mind the playoffs like where they're at. I think they're a good setup. They got a good but then again, I also see the point of hey, we're playing the same team every year. Like you literally like the Blues, for example, played the Minnesota Wild almost like when they were going on their deep runs. It was either Minnesota or Winnipeg in the first round. Like there was nobody. It was Winnipeg or Minnesota.
So you put money on it. You were like, yes, got it. Yeah. Boom. That's already going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind 1 to 8. I think that would change things up a little bit. I think it'd be fun. It would still be fun to watch either way. Either they change it or they don't change it. I think 1 to 8 or the divisional playoff rounds, however they have it set up now, are cool. I wouldn't. I don't know.
Well, because the 1 for 8 for me, it was always Montreal and Capitals.
Yeah.
Always, no matter what it was.
Yeah.
So that gets a little stale after a while. And now it looks like for this one, it's like Toronto and Boston.
Yeah. Toronto, Boston. It's either Toronto, Boston, or out west. It's usually the last 2 years. I think it's been Edmonton and LA.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So it gets repetitive. It does.
But
I think it would be cool to see and change it up a little bit.
Yeah, but I do. So I also say the 1 to 8 because jogging my memory here.
Yeah.
Last year they had, what was it? Vegas was right. Was it Vegas? Because they were the better team. And they were playing. Were they playing?
They would have played whoever. Like if it was 1 to 8, they would have played whoever was the first seed. So it would have been.
Or was it? Oh no, I'm sorry. Because they were talking about it was Dallas. That's right.
Yeah.
And then it was Winnipeg and Colorado. People were like, "Oh man, that should be like later. Like, why are they doing it right now?" I'm just like, "Well, that's just how it is. It is." But maybe the 1 to 8 will make it a little bit better because I think people wanted to see either a Vegas, Colorado, Western Conference, or like one of those, or like Stars in Colorado. But I think people were complaining about that. But it was just like, and that's the system. But
right,
I will say though, it is better than NASCAR's playoff system. So
yeah,
anything's better than that one.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah, I saw the little the stat the other day on Joey Logano. And, take a shot at Josh's guy here. But he had an average finish position of 17th. And still won the championship.
Yeah. If you want to hear more about that, Next Left Turn, check that out. Last episode of the season.
Last episode was this past Sunday. So go check that one out as they talk about the championship race. And Joey Logano finishing out the season, getting his third cup championship as well. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing some changes to the playoffs at the same time. Like it would be cool to see it, because when I first started watching hockey, that's how it was. It was 1 to 8, so like you were getting different matchups every year, and whatnot. So like if we looked at it right now, just for shits and giggles.
It also too.
You'd have Winnipeg and Edmonton round one.
That would be a good matchup.
Yeah, in the West. In the West, you have Minnesota, Vancouver, Vegas, and Dallas, and then LA, and Calgary.
Ooh, Calgary.
Yeah, as a 5 seed. In the East, you'd have the Devils, Bruins, Capitals, Islanders. Sorry, Panthers, Rangers.
Oh, Jesus. First rounder?
Yeah. And then Hurricanes, Maple Leafs, first round.
That would be an interesting one. Hurricanes, Maple Leafs. I feel like that would be a good playoff series.
Yeah. I think Washington and the Washington Islanders would be a good one too. Capitals and Islanders would be a good series.
Well, yeah, I mean, Capitals are pretty good this year.
Yeah.
Was Cody McMichael? I think he scored 2 goals last night.
Yeah, they beat the bricks off the Blues the other night, like 8-1, 7-1.
Yeah,
embarrassing.
I don't know what happened with them, but they got a freaking shot up of something in their veins.
Yeah, they're 11-4-1 on the season so far at 23 points. The Capitals are they're plus 21, which is it the most in the league? Oh no, Winnipeg is a plus 36.
Yeah, Winnipeg's got like everything statistically. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if Logan Thompson went to like the Hurricanes or something next year, because he's been playing pretty good. He's not going to be a backup to Charlie Lindgren.
Yeah, well, I think he's a starter there now, right? Like there's.
Is it? I thought they kept switching. I thought they just kept trying to do a rotation.
I don't know. Look it up here. I thought he was like the full-time starter.
That's interesting. I know they had high hopes for Charlie Lindgren too.
Roster. Let's see where we're at here. How are they gonna pull it up? Well, they have Logan Thompson or Lindgren is the one in the roster, so.
Yeah, I think Logan Thompson's gonna get a good paycheck next year.
Yeah, Lindgren is he's played 8 games, 4 wins. He has a 2.66 goals against average on the season so far. Where let's go back to his buddy in net, Logan Thompson. He's played 8 games as well, so yeah, they're splitting, but he has 7 wins.
Jesus,
with a 2.71 goals against average.
If I'm Washington and you're not going to keep him, I would trade him at the deadline because you're going to get something for him. Everyone needs goalies.
Unless you sign him before then, you trade Lindgren.
Ooh. What's that? The Office? It's like snap, 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 snap.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be interesting.
That would be interesting. That would definitely be something.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind it. It'd be kind of cool to see. Take a look at the divisions real quick before we head out. So you got the Winnipeg. We'll start in the West this time. In the Central, the Winnipeg Jets are 5 points ahead of the Minnesota Wild at 15-2-0. Minnesota is in second place at 25 points, 11-2-3. Dallas sits in the third playoff spot right now in the Central, 10-5-2 with 20 points. Colorado sneaking their way back up. They're fourth now in the Central Division with 18 points, 2 points behind the Dallas Stars. And you have the Utah Hockey Club, who's sitting right there, 17 points at 7-7-3. The falling of the St. Louis Blues, who are now only 2 points ahead of the Chicago Blackhawks in the Central Division.
Jesus.
At 7-9-1. Chicago and Nashville both tied at the bottom at 6-10. Chicago 6-10-1, 13 points. Nashville's 5-10-3 with 13 points as well. Any surprises in the Central?
I'm gonna say Colorado just because I know they got back Nishkushkin.
Yep.
And they got back was it they got back Lakeinen?
Oh, yeah.
I know he was hurt for a little bit.
Two of their better players or more experienced players back. Yeah,
because they needed that. I was watching Dropping the Gloves, and they were one of the co-hosts was talking that Jonathan Drouin came back I was like, dude, like Jonathan Truman's just a guy. He's not anything that great, but he's back too. So they're getting healthier, and they're not really going with Georgiev a lot. I just saw the other night when they lost, they had like two different. They had the backup and then like another goalie. So I wonder if they're experimenting. That could be another thing too. Logan Thompson to Colorado, possibly. So that's interesting. I would say Nashville, but just like they can't do anything. They have too many guys that have like no movement or no trade, so it doesn't even matter. Like you can't move anything.
No, and that's, Barry Trotz came out. I think it was earlier this week. It said that hey, if they don't figure things out or straighten things up, he's just going to start the rebuild earlier than expected. It's like, well, you're. What are you going to do? You're going to trade all these guys that you just brought in?
Exactly. You can't. Most of them have no moves.
Yeah. Continuing our trip out west, we'll go out to the Pacific Coast and the Vegas Golden Knights are 11-4-2 with 24 points on the season so far. LA's right behind them with 21. The Flames are right there at 21 as well. Identical records for the Kings and the Flames at 9-6-3. The Vancouver Canucks are 8-4-3 at 19 points. Edmonton's crawling their way back up. They're 9-7-1 and 19 points. And Seattle still sitting there too at 8-1 at 17 points. And at the bottom of the barrel in the Pacific, you have the Anaheim Ducks at 6-8-2, 14 points. San Jose 5-10-3 with 13 points. So you're looking at 6 teams that are potentially battling it out in the Pacific right now for a playoff spot between Vegas, LA, Calgary, Vancouver, Edmonton, and Seattle.
Yeah,
I'm sure it'll separate itself at some point.
Go down.
Yeah. At some point, it'll separate itself. I mean, they were a team that started the season 5-0, and they've had 4 wins since then.
Exactly. Like Jerry was talking about on Blue Shirts banner. Like, he was like nervous for the Calgary. I was like, nah, dude, don't worry about them. They're dying out. I really hope the Kraken improve a little bit better. I feel like they're a good team, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. I think a little bit. I think what the Pacific Division is a little surprising to me right now with how close, how competitive it is right now.
Just say you have because LA second. Just say it.
I mean, that's who I picked to go to the Stanley Cup this year. So, which they'll still think it could happen. I mean, they're sitting second. So I'm not
bad.
No. I guess we'll fly all the way over to the East Coast now. Although we're going to go north or south. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because the Atlantic Division has the most northern team and the most southern team in it.
For real.
So we'll go with the Atlantic Division that has the Florida Panthers sitting on top right now at 11-5-1 with 23 points. Toronto is 1 point behind them at 10-6-2, 22 points. Boston somehow in the third spot in the Atlantic Division at 8-8-2, 18 points. Tampa Bay is 17 points, 8-6-1. Ottawa's right there too at 17 points. So is Buffalo. It was 17 points in 6th place. Detroit 7-8-1, 15 points, and then you have the Montreal Canadiens who are 5. Which that team, since they went to that Stanley Cup final during the the bubble year.
Was it the bubble year?
Because they played Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Yeah. We were like, that's so weird. Yeah.
The
so
weirdest. You got 2 division teams playing each other in the Stanley Cup final. Like, what?
Exactly.
I mean, that's cool. That's fun. Don't get me wrong. It was cool to watch. Like, oh, hey, like these are the 2 best teams playing right now. Okay.
Yeah, but didn't they do it where like all the Canadian teams had their own division?
I think so.
Because that's probably why. But this, still weird. But don't sleep on Tampa though. They have 3 less games. They started late in the seasons, and also the Hurricane, but
Hurricanes and the Rangers both 15.
Oh no, I meant like Tampa had a Hurricane.
Oh yeah, I got
you. Could do it.
Oh, literally because of the Hurricane. Wow.
Yeah,
all right, my bad.
They had to postpone a game or 2.
Sorry, Tampa. Yeah, my bad. I thought you were literally talking about the Hurricanes. Like, Rangers have only played 15 games too. I'm not surprised in this division this division so far. It's the way I figured it was going to be. This division doesn't change much. It's the same 3 teams that are up there every year. It's 3 or 4 teams, and then you have the same 3 or 4 teams at the bottom every year.
Yeah,
it doesn't change. It's the one division that just you can look at it year in and year out and be like, these teams are going to finish 1, 2, and 3. These teams are going to finish 6, 7, and 8.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the wild card for the East, and it's literally 2 Metros in the wild card.
Yeah,
that's how bad the Atlantic is.
Yep. Yeah, the Islanders and the Rangers right now. Jump over to the Metro really quick. Is you got the Devils, who are played the most games in the league, I believe, so far. Still to this point with 20 games, they're 12, 6-2, 26 points on the season. Washington's 3 points behind them, 4 games below them though in games played. They're looking at 11, 4-1, 23 points. Carolina's right there behind the Capitals though, 22 points at 11, 4-0. And you got your Rangers, Aaron, 21 points, sitting in 4th place. Are you surprised a little bit? Just because the Capitals are playing better than expected, that they're kind of in this position.
I didn't expect Capitals to be 11, 4-1. I figured Ovechkin was going to break the record. I didn't think it was going to be a good team. My Rangers, they got a lot to clean up. Even though they're 10, 4-1, they got a lot to clean up.
Yep. Yeah. The Islanders are sitting there in 5th place with 7, 6-4, 18 points. You got the Philly Flyers, 7, 8-2, 16 points, and then the Pittsburgh Penguins, 6, 10-3, and then the Columbus Blue Jackets sitting at the bottom of the Metro at 6, 8-2. No surprises there in that division for me right now.
No,
not anymore. At least not anymore. Washington's good. Just had to put it up to that. Not surprised.
Yep. So, and Pens are trash.
Yeah. I don't think I have anything else. Is there anything else that you want to talk about before we go?
No, pretty much just subscribe, hit the little bell right there, goes ding. So that way you can see all the shows. Because I know Next Left Turn's gone. Everyone's sad about that. I'm not sure what 7th Inning Stretch is doing.
Every 2 weeks.
It's every 2 weeks.
Be back this Thursday.
Okay, I wasn't sure of the off season for that, so check that out. Saturday Showdown still going. You have
every Monday night.
Every Monday night, I believe. It looks like 8:45.
Yeah, 7:45 Central Time.
Central. This show, and then
Talking the Gridiron tomorrow night.
That's right. I keep forgetting because you guys overlapped us. Next up turn. So check out all those shows. A lot here on Variety Sports Network. Yeah, there definitely is. Talking the Gridiron has John Yates from Out of Your Falcon Mind on this. Well, as of right now, still playing. He'll be on this week with the Talking the Gridiron crew with Darren and Jimmy and Brian and Terrell, whoever else is going to be there too. Saturday Showdown has the Big Ten Casual as their guest of the week to talk about some Big Ten football, and probably rather or not, there's been a lot of back and forth. Like, hey, a 3-team SEC team or 3-loss SEC team should get into the playoff over a 1-loss Big Ten team. I'm calling that. I already called it. They're already setting that in motion. Ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Ridiculous. Don't tell me it's just ratings. Yeah. No. Maybe it's just the SEC's not as good this year. This is true. Could be a thing. Check out all that stuff and more here at Variety Sports Network. And you'll catch the 5-hole next weekend, Saturday or Sunday. Just depends. We're working people here. Pay us, people. Pay us. We'll do it whenever you want. Yeah, whatever. Just let us know. Probably every show is getting better and better every week. So make sure you tune in. Definitely appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.